Final Goal 99.3 FM. This is the broadcast start to our sports season. It's the season preview show. Mitch Columbi, and we have our special, well, not a special guest. He is one of our main guys. You're going to hear him a lot throughout this next 9-10 months. Chris, how you doing today?
Well, I'm doing pretty good.
Man,
I turned 49 today, so
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to wish you a happy birthday.
Got that going for me.
So
another year closer to half a century.
So this will be yours and I's fourth season preview show, but you've got something going on today. What's going on for Tri-Township?
I tell you what, right now I'm out at Hamlet Golf Course, sitting in between hole 6 and 7, watching my girls play some golf.
Nice. So how are they looking this season so far?
Well, this is our first meet, so we're hitting some good shots. We just got to work on our consistency and work on the mental aspect of the game, so we'll be all right.
Well, we'll go ahead and button this up as soon as we can, but while I've got you on the phone, let's talk about our football season, Chris. This is a lot of fun. A lot of our teams, they're looking strong. We got to see them in practice, but what a better way to start our season off than week 1, Knox, North Judson, huh?
I tell you what, the number 2 ranked team in 1A and the number 10th ranked team in 3A at Community Field in Knox. I think it's going to live up to all the hype. You never know going into the first game of the season what it could bring. Could come down to special teams, but again, both these teams have had a lot of postseason success, so they've had a lot of extra practice over the years, and I look for both Judson and Knox to be about mid-season form in week 1.
Well, we kind of witnessed that last year. It was a semi-state atmosphere in week 1, and we anticipate to see that at Community Field this Friday night. But week 2, we'll see Culver at West Central. I believe you'll be staying in Judson to see LaVille hang out on the sidelines with them. And then week 3, we will see a big game, Culver Academy at Knox. Week 4, Winamac at Culver. Week 5, I'm excited about this one. We're going to get a chance to do a game at John Glenn. The Redskins travel to take on the Falcons, and then the Triton Trojans travel to North Judson in week 7, and then week 6. Week 7, we will see the Jays take on the Winamac Warriors for a rivalry matchup there, and then Bremen at Knox week 8, and then to finish off our regular season, we will see the South Central Satellites on the road at Culver. Pretty good schedule we put together here, Chris. Let's pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah, I think so. Looking at that when we sat together, when we got together for lunch and put the schedule together, I think there'll be a lot more parity in our football schedule this year in our broadcast. I think all the teams are kind of coming back together. I still think Knox and North Judson are probably going to be at the top of the mountain there, but again, I think they've come down a little bit, and the other teams have started to rise and climb a little bit, so the game should be a lot more competitive this year.
Yeah, we talk about West Central, Winamac, Culver, Knox, North Judson, and South Central. Those are the 6 area football teams that we cover. What's a storyline that's sticking out to you at this moment in time out of all of our area teams, Chris?
Well, I got to stick with what I know. I was actually having 2 nephews on the Judson football team. I was actually able to watch them scrimmage quite a bit this past summer, and I tell you what, Coach Lambert's probably going to be mad at me for saying this, but I'm excited to watch them actually play on Friday night, just because everybody's kind of the 7 seniors they lost from the state championship or the state runner-up team. Everybody's thinking that they're going to fall back to earth, but I don't think they're going to fall back as far as everybody thinks. And again, I'm kind of curious to see what Knox is going to do on Friday night. Not having that 2-headed monster in Conroy and McLaughlin. Now McLaughlin's back. Who are they going to find to replace what Conroy gave them offensively and defensively? Jake is at Wabash doing well down there and played really well in the North-South All-Star game back in July. So again, just a kid that's going to be hard to replace, and kind of curious to see who that's going to be for the Redskins.
And we'll also have a chance to follow up with our coaches every Saturday on the Saturday Sports Line. What's something you're looking forward to as we start our 4th year together, you and I doing the Saturday Sports Line?
Oh, just Russ Radtke, because you never know what he's going to bring on. You never know what he's going to bring on a Saturday morning.
Oh, Chris, I appreciate you hopping on here. I know you're busy coaching right now, but hey, we're setting the table. It should be a good season. I appreciate you. Happy birthday to you, buddy. I appreciate everything you do for me. All
right, thank you. And hey, if Lenny's sitting there, tell him happy belated birthday. His was yesterday, so him and I need to get together one of these summers and celebrate our birthdays together.
Right. You know what? I was just going to wish you a happy birthday. Yep, you're a young baby and I'm an old man, so we can sit around and I can yell at kids to get off my lawn. It'd be perfect.
Well, is it? Can I consolidate? Is it any consideration, or does it help that I feel old?
No.
Is that any consolation?
No, actually, I turned 60 this year, so I'm there.
Yeah, I turned 49, and I feel like I'm 60.
Yeah, wait till you get about 55, then it really catches up to you.
The big double nickel, huh? The speed limit.
Yeah,
all right.
That's it.
Well, Chris, enjoy the rest of your evening. I appreciate you hopping on here, and I look forward to seeing you Friday night.
All right, no problem.
All right, that is Chris McGowan here on the season preview show. Mitch Columbia along with General Manager Lenny Dessauer. We are at Papa Farm Pizza downtown Knox. And Lenny, let's talk about Papa Farm Pizza. This is a great place to hold this season preview show. The coaches love coming to this place, but a lot of patrons from the area have been trickling in here getting pizza. So something's going on here. What are you doing here?
Yeah, you know what? They're in and out. It's finally not 175 degrees out, so we're happy about that. But everybody, they're coming in and out, and there'll be a few in here watching tonight's show too. They like to see what's going on. But I do enjoy having you guys here. This is what?
This is our fourth together.
Yeah, here too, right?
I have to be careful with that because the sports here has been going on since before
forever.
You were born.
Yeah, I think I think at one time, I'm not sure, 4 years here, but I think because it's only been 4 years here. I don't know if we did it one other time here or not. I know I dragged Harold out one time, and I don't remember where.
It'll be a lot of fun. It'll
be a good time.
We're going to talk with head coach of the Winamac Warriors, Josh Burgess, head coach of the West Central Trojans, Mark Hall, Austin Foust of the Culver Cavaliers, Russ Radtke, as I said in that social media post, his 49th season coaching high school football. We'll talk with him.
I have to keep my finger on the mute button with Russ.
Well, we got him a wired mic this year, so we won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I know. So he's not. Yeah, I was telling. See, technical behind the scenes, guys. Sports talk. Yeah. But I tell you, as a producer like I am, Russ is a nightmare. Hey, don't hold a microphone like this. So hold it like this. No. Hold it up to your mouth.
He keeps us on his toes.
His chest. Yeah,
he keeps us on his toes.
He is great.
And then we'll also talk with head coach of the North Judson Santerre Blue Jays. It is Brett Lambert. And then finally, Buzz Schoff. He can't make it in tonight, but he is going to take a call. We'll try to catch up with him here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. But I did want to go down the list of all of our amazing sports sponsors here on WKVI. Without them, we wouldn't be able to continue this tradition. And it starts with Stark County Co-op. We appreciate them, as well as 5 Star, Collins Insurance, Coca-Cola, Pulaski Memorial Hospital, LAP Waste, Zingo Express, Culver's Portside Marina, McGrath Refrigeration, Mark's Body Shop in Knox, Lawrence Farms, First Farmers Bank and Trust, Howard's Marathon of Winamac, Farm Fertilizer, Kankakee Valley REMC, Osborne Advantage Real Estate, Keener Construction, L&D Farms. We also thank Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack, Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox, Frayne Mortuary. They just joined. We're very excited about that.
Yep.
Marion University, Ancilla College, Hoosier Tire, and a new one today we signed up, Marv's Property Management. So we're very excited of all of our sponsors. If you would like to join the tradition, don't hesitate to reach out. Call us at 574-772-6241 or just direct message us on social media. You know where we're at there. So let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll try to get Buzz Schoff on the line. Don't go anywhere. This is the start of our 2025-2026 season here on KVB's WKVI. And we're back here for the season preview show on KVB's WKVI. We have an opportunity to talk with Winamac Warriors football head coach. It is Josh Burgess. Coach, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you. How are you?
This is our fourth one together. Can't believe time's flying. I'm a senior now, Coach.
Yeah. I hear you. No, time flies.
Oh, man.
Sure.
Well, and then let's see. This is 1, 2, 3. This is your fourth year as well.
Yeah,
this is our fourth year together.
Fourth year as head coach. I think I looked the other day, I think 24, 25 total. So it's like you said, time flies.
Oh, man. Well, let's talk about the summer. We kind of talked about it in the social media post, but let's dive in a little bit more. Talk about some plans that you had for the season.
Yeah, I was really happy with our summer. Summer attendance was good. We kind of backed off some things a little bit in June, focused more on the lifting, conditioning, a little bit less on the football stuff. And once we got into July, hit our team camp, sent some kids down to Western for 7-on-7. We were going to thud Carroll right at the end of the season or the summer, but so hot, we ended up canceling that. So, but all in all, I thought we got done what we needed to in the summer. Saw some good things out of our kids, and so far so good as far as the first couple weeks of practice too.
Yeah, something you said to me a couple weeks ago when I saw you was you have varsity players coming back, which the last couple years you kind of said you were young, and this time you've got guys that have been in the system and have learned what you've wanted them to do. So talk about now taking the next step.
Yeah, I think all our guys are a little more mature. We were at times playing 7 freshmen in our varsity lineup last year. Either by choice or by injury. So I'm excited about those kids that are coming back. They've had a year in the weight room. All our kids are in weight class, so that's awesome for them. They had a good summer with their conditioning, with their strength program that we run. So just really excited about the growth of our kids and excited to see what they can do. But, you're right. We got a lot of kids back, but that's not going to matter very much if we don't continue to do the work every day that we need to. We can't just say, hey, we've got returning guys and we're just going to show up and have success. It's going to take a lot of work, especially with our schedule.
Yeah,
that we play. One of the best small school schedules in the state. We're in one of the best small school conferences in the state. I'll put our conference and our schedule up against anybody as far as 1 and 2A.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate to have that schedule to prepare us for the postseason. So we're just really excited about the way our kids look so far and looking forward to what they can do on Friday night.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that you kind of mentioned this, but the quote that I read out of the Indiana Football Digest was, while you have a lot of varsity experience coming back, you said that won't matter unless we get better every day, both in the classroom and on the field. To get better, they must continue to get stronger and faster throughout the spring and summer. So have you seen what you wanted to see?
Yeah, like I said, we're pretty pleased with what we saw from the summer. And, obviously we still have a lot of work to do. Scrimmage kind of showed us that with Rochester. Great scrimmage for us with Rochester. Rochester's going to have a nice team this year. They're big and physical, run the ball really well. So that showed us some things that we need to continue to work on. But I thought we did some things well in the scrimmage too. So like I said, I like where we're at. We've got a lot of work to do still, especially as we start the season, but we've seen some really good things from our kids so far.
We talked about Knox North Judson, the big rivalry. Well, you've got a big rivalry in week 1. You take on the West Central Trojans, this time in Francisville. Talk about week 1 in preparations and maybe what you're expecting to see from the Trojans.
Yeah, Coach Hall, his staff, they do a fantastic job with their kids and having them ready to play. And we're going to expect a real test week 1 coming out of the gate from them. They've got the Villarreal kid back, who's a very good running back, and the All-State kid, about 900 yards last year. And they've got some pieces around him that they brought back too. So it's definitely going to be a big challenge for us. Offensively, they'll run their option stuff. They do it really well. And defensively, they're very aggressive. They'll come after us. So we're going to have to make sure that our kids are ready in all 3 phases of the game. It's going to be a tough test going on the road to start off the season.
A lot of names that we remember: Tierson Wolford, Xavier Adriano. It'll be nice to see him healthy on the field, a sophomore this year. Ethan Burgess, he's just quite the player. Cody Wheeler, a lot of guys we remember. What are some names that we will hear this year we haven't heard before? Yeah,
we've got quite a few kids in there. You mentioned those. I'll mention another senior for us, Cale Federer, on the line. He's been a key for us the last couple years. Caden Runk's another senior that's going to work his way in at a receiver and linebacker, defensive back. You mentioned Ethan and Tierson and Cody and X. Those guys are key players that got a lot of time for us. They're going to have to be key players for us too. Ivan Cardenas is a junior, is another kid that worked his way into the lineup last year and had some success. Lucas Perez up front for us as a junior is going to be key, along with Lane Tetzloff. Walker Lovely. Walker's a kid that's never played football before, and he's really stood out. He's going to be on our offensive line and has done a nice job. We've got Hank Haschel coming back. They got some time as a freshman last year. Alex Stonebreaker's a sophomore. Braxton Scheidler's a sophomore. Trying to think of some other kids. We've got just a ton of kids that have played varsity football and have done some nice things for us. So the good thing, they're all a year older. They're a little more experienced. They're all a year stronger and faster. So we're looking forward to what those kids can do. And I'm just thrilled to death. We picked up another freshman today. We were up to 42 kids on our roster, and I think last year we had 25 healthy going into the sectional. So our numbers are up. JV schedule is set. We've got a full JV schedule. We've got a little bit of depth. We've got some good competition. Another kid that I forgot to mention, Hayden Taylor's a senior. Hayden played a key role for us last year too. So Jagger Terry is a sophomore. I'm just rattling off the names here. We've got a lot of kids coming back that are going to do some key things for us, I think, this year.
Yeah, that was one thing you'd mentioned. You're happy with the numbers. Is this the largest team that you've had the pleasure of having since you got to Winamac?
Yeah, we're back up over 40. We've been anywhere from 35 to 30. Like I said, last year with injuries and just some different things that happened, we were under 30, which it's a struggle to not only put a team out on Friday night but get things done in practice with that amount of kids too. So our younger classes, our sophomore class, our freshman class, we got about 14 kids per class there. Senior class is a little small. Junior class is about average for us, so that's pushed us up over 40. We've got good numbers in our middle school. I think our middle school team right now is sitting right around 40 kids too total from 6th, 7th, and 8th. So the numbers have come up, and that's just going to make things a lot easier for us and hopefully lead some success. I'm excited for the young kids. We're going to play Western next week on our first JV game, so I think we've got our JV schedule rounded out. And those kids, last year we had to cancel several JV games when other teams had to cancel. In the season we were canceling because we were injured, had to bump some of those younger kids up to varsity. So I'm really excited for those kids too, to see what they can do against kids their own age at the JV level and not have to throw those kids into a varsity lineup before they're ready to be in there. So all in all, I'm really pleased with the direction of our program and what's going on. We just need to make sure we keep working to keep that going.
Yeah, one thing that I circled that I wanted to bring up was, last year, week 2, you guys didn't get to play week 2 because of that. What was it, lightning or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lightning. It was a weird thing. Lightning and never stopped. We were down at Frontier, and then the officials they had came clear over from Fort Wayne, and they said right away, if we don't play tonight, we're not coming back. And with all the other cancellations in that area, we could not find a crew to come back and play. So we were just, one of those things where we just had to cancel. And a lot of times your biggest improvement is from week 1 to week 2. That set us back, and we played a really tough Pioneer team week 3 and really struggled, and mainly because of what Pioneer was doing. They had a nice team last year, and they did some really good things, but I think it really set us back not playing that second week leading to the third week. So, excited to have our full schedule, and hope, unless, knock on wood, nothing like that happens again, but really looking forward. I like our schedule. We've got 2 good non-conference games to get us ready to go for the conference schedule, and I really like how that sets out. So
you go West Central week 1, Frontier week 2, then like you said, Pioneer week 3, then you're at Culver week 4. I believe we will be at that game, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we will be Winamac at Culver that week, and then after your week at Culver, you're then on the road again, back-to-back, going to Triton and Bourbon, Indiana. Then you host North Miami, you host North Judson, at South Central week 8, and then you're at home against Caston to finish off the season. When you look at that season, I know you're 1 week at a time, but when you look at everything, when you're in terms of the conference, it's competitive.
You're exactly right.
It's competitive.
Yeah, there's no off week in the HNAC. All right, once we get through our 2 non-conference games, I mean, you talked about Pioneer, you mentioned all the conference schools. I think our conference top to bottom is probably going to be a little bit better than what it was last year. Talk about Judson. People talk about them coming down a little bit. I won't believe that till I see it. North Miami is going to have a nice team this year. They've got a nice group of seniors. Caston's improved. I know Coach Foust. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but I know their numbers are up over there, and he's excited about those numbers. South Central always has athletes on the field that are tough to deal with. Triton, same thing. They've got good backs coming back. Judson's Judson, Pioneer's Pioneer. We'll have a tough challenge every week especially once we get into that conference schedule. But I love it because it prepares us for Week 10 in the sectional, and that's ultimately what we're building for. We're going to try to get a little bit better each week as we go, and if we're playing our best football Week 10, hopefully we can make a little noise and get on a little bit of a run in that tournament and see what happens.
And a lot can happen in a season. Things change, things happen, so you kind of have to work on the fly. That's what I've learned with coaches is when things come at you fast, you've got to be able to roll with the punches and continue on. And sometimes that could be for the better, sometimes it could be for the worse, but you got to be able to handle it.
Yeah, you got to be able to adapt pretty quickly. We're working with high school kids, 14 to 18-year-old kids, so not only the stuff that happens on the football field, but you got to deal with the stuff that happens in the school and what happens with their lives. And sometimes that's an adventure to get that stuff dealt with, and trying to make sure that they're good with everything in the classroom, everything at home. All the stuff that goes on, and then we're going to try to put together a game plan and play a football game on Friday night too. So you're exactly right. You wake up each morning and sometimes you don't have any idea what's going to happen. It could be really smooth or it can be really chaotic every single day. So just trying to get our kids better every day and focus on the things to be better people in the classroom, in the community, better people with their family, and hopefully teach them a couple things football-wise. If we do that and win a couple games along the way, we're pretty successful. So,
well, I want to let Warrior Nation know, while you all know we will be in Knox for the Knox North Judson battle, we still will have our sideline reporter Justin Ruff, Winamac alum, on location in Francisville to give us live and up-to-date reports of what's going on for the Battle of Pulaski County, the Tomahawk Trophy. You said you slept with it last year.
I think I said I had it in the truck. I don't think I slept with it, but
I threw that in.
Yeah, we got it. It's locked up.
Well, we'll never know, will we?
Yeah, we never know. It's locked up in our trophy case right now, so I'll probably have to dig that thing out here in the next couple of days and get that over to West Central with us. So
now, what do you have to when you bring that traveling trophy? Who holds it during the game?
I set it behind our bench. I'm not.
So that's a weird situation. Yeah. That is a weird situation because if you have to relinquish it, that's not something you want to do.
No, it's not fun to go over there and give it up. So it's a big game, and our kids are excited about it. I know West Central's kids, I'm sure, are excited about it too. So great way to open up the season. Be a good atmosphere over at West Central, and we're definitely looking forward to the opportunity.
Well, we'll talk more with Josh Burgess here later on. We're going to catch up with Buzz Schoff as soon as we can get him on the line. But we'll take a quick break. The season preview show for KVB's WKVI. We see Culver Cavalier head coach Austin Foust in the house. Pizza's on the way. If you want to come by and say hello, grab some pizza. We'd love to meet you and maybe get some autographs from these head coaches. They're real famous around here. Let's take a break. You're listening to KVB's WKVI. And we are back here for the season preview show on KVB's WKVI. It's Final Gold. Mitch Columbi here. We're so glad you've joined us. We have an opportunity to catch up with South Central Satellite head football coach Buzz Schoff. Good evening, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today, Mitch?
We're hanging in there. We miss you, but understandable for the time being. This is our fourth season preview show together, so we always appreciate talking with you. Chris couldn't make it today. He's on the back nine for the Tri-Township Lady Tigers golf team. He's the head coach there now. Can you believe that?
Well, I mean, hey, you got to take the opportunity when it takes it, right? That's a good gig, girls golf. I mean, you get paid to play golf, so can't get any better than that.
Well, Coach, I got a chance to see you. It was raining that day, and the new facilities. Let's talk about that first. The new facilities there at South Central. That is fantastic, Coach.
It really takes a little bit of burden off. It really came down to, we had in the winter time when we got elementary basketball, girls basketball, boys basketball, junior high basketball. Just the gym space, and we had our softball teams and our baseball teams practicing until 9:30 at night. So it was really to ease that a little bit, but definitely useful for the football team as well. You got a 90 by 90 space to work with. So on those rainy days, it's nice to get in there and throughout the summer, it was real hot this summer. It seemed like more days than not. We weren't allowed to get outside. So, having that big space with essentially nothing in it was really beneficial just to get our kids some reps throughout the summertime. A brand new locker room, kids excited about it, right?
maybe get a few more kids to come play just because they got a nice facility, right? If you look good, you play good. So we're just hoping that we can live up to having such a nice facility.
Yeah, something that stuck out to me, a quote from the Indiana Football Digest. You said, "We graduated a lot of 2- and 3-year starters, so we will need to learn quickly with a few key positions and with young players." How's that process been going for you?
It's never a good start, right? Our offensive line has been kind of solid for the last couple of years, with a lot of 4-year starters, a 3-year starter, and a 2-year starter, and we got to replace those guys. And those were the question marks coming into the season. We had a few guys in mind of who could step up to those positions, but it's just been kind of trial and error, right? I think we have the puzzle pieces now. As the coaches, it's our job to put the pieces together where they fit the best. So we're still trying to figure all that out. After the scrimmage, we saw some things that we knew we needed to work on, and hopefully we'll get those fixed before Friday night. So the pieces are coming together. It's still a learning process. I would say that there's no team in the state of Indiana that's playing their best football right now. So
yeah,
and we're still in that mix. So as long as the progression happens throughout the season, I think we'll be just okay.
There's a lot of players on the field, Coach, more than the quarterback, but one player that I'm very excited to see this season and see how he does is Rylan Rondo, Coach.
Rylan is one of those kids where, when he was in middle school, he was just kind of that jack-of-all-trades type kid that you didn't really know where he was going to fit in any given situation. But, he's one of those football-savvy type kids. He's a kid that if he's not on the football field, he's watching a football game, or he's looking at some sort of football drill or doing something. So he's got his mind set on football, and he's got to be our starting quarterback this year. Which last year he came in late in the season when Clayton went down, and showed that he has the ability and the leadership mentality to kind of take over that spot. So for him, it's just been tightening up some things that as a backup quarterback you don't need to know, but as the starter, there are certain times you got to make a certain read, and you can't be wrong. So he's a kid that we can count on. He's going to get us a line right. He's going to audible some plays for us, and we have the utmost confidence in Rylan back there calling signals. And you're right, he is an exciting player to watch.
He is
not big in stature, maybe not the fastest kid on the field, but elusive and just makes the right decision right when he has to. So I'm excited to see how he grows throughout the season as well. A lot of players around him. Not a big kid, so we can't get him hit too often. Not a quarterback situation that we're used to here at South Central. Usually we got a big guy back there, but he's definitely filling that role the way we want him to.
Yeah, some names we remember, Dylan Shively. We also remember Landon Clifford, Jacob Saunders, Cooper Nealon, now a sophomore. Some names we remember last year. Who are some other names you believe we will be hearing from this season as well?
So another name that kind of sticks out there is Cade Zerzin. He played for us last year, a limited role, but he'll have the majority of the carries this year at our tailback spot. We got a transfer from West Lafayette. Family moved in to our district in Fisher Trotsky, kind of a linebacker, fullback type kid. Thank you, West Lafayette, for coaching that kid up for the last 3 years. We appreciate that. So he's another name that he'll lead our defense. Big solid kid. Fits the South Central mold. Maybe not the best athlete out there, but does everything you ask him to do and puts himself in a position to make a play. And now we just got to make that play. So those are two names right off the bat. Also, Trenton Martin, another kid. I mean, the kid is 5'6", 125 pounds, but can move, kind of playing slot receiver for us. And another kid that we're real excited about to see just how he transitions into our team is Jackson Arnett. He's a little freshman, and just a solid football player. Just understands the game. You wouldn't think he's a freshman the way he plays, the way he communicates, just the way he understands the game. So, those 4 names on top of the 6 that you just named, we're expecting a lot of productivity out of those kids. And we just got to put 4 quarters together. We have the players. We just got to be able to put it all together and play a full football game.
Yeah, I know something that is always on your mind as well is the offensive line. Talk about the big men up front and what you need to see from them on a weekly basis.
So, I mean, our big guys up front, I mean, they are big. We don't traditionally have big offensive linemen. The past couple years, we had a Braden Lautenbach who stood at 6'3", 240. Now our offensive line is pretty big across the board. They don't have that kind of height, but, they're 6'2", they're 6'1", they're 300 pounds, they're 280. But we just need that. We need that road grader type mentality to really kind of get in their heads that, I'm big, I'm bigger than you, I'm just going to mull you over. And as long as I'm going forward, there's nothing you can do about it. So that's what we've been working on this off season and this last couple weeks is just, get downhill and just keep moving. If your feet are moving, it's hard to move 300 pounds if it's moving against you. So we just got to get those big guys just understanding that as long as I'm moving forward, everything else is okay. That right now they're young, they're inexperienced, so they're worried about that mistake. Am I blocking the right guy? Well, the bottom line is the offensive line is blocking a guy. They got the right guy. I understand scheme goes into it, and we give them rules to follow. But at the end of the day, get your guy downfield, and running backs will make a play off of that. So, we just got that young, inexperienced type mentality right now that we just got to break them out of, and they'll pick it up. They got a scrimmage under their belt. They got a summer under their belt, and after week 1, they'll start to figure out how to play this game the way we want them to play. So we're making progress. We're not where we want to be, but we are making progress.
Yeah, talk defensively, reading keys. How's the defense going to be this season? I know that's something you've kind of talked in the past that you really would like to tighten up a little bit more. Talk about something that you're seeing from the defense that you like.
So, defensively, my mentality has always been, and I'm a defensive-minded guy. I was a defensive line coach for most of my career until I became a head coach. I'm going to put you in a position pre-snap to be in a position to make a play. And I think in years past, especially in the recent years, we've been in position to make plays. We just haven't done it. If you got 2 or 3 guys at the ball and we don't make a tackle, that falls on me. So this offseason we really made a point to work on our tackling. Our kids have had more live reps tackling each other than we have in years past, and we've always kind of taken it a little light, knowing that you can't get anybody hurt. If we get somebody hurt, what happens to the team? And we've kind of changed that mindset of if we don't tackle anybody, we can't win football games. And it was real apparent last year. We just gave up too many points because we allowed people to run through arm tackles, and we didn't wrap up, and we didn't finish the play, and so we kind of changed our mentality to just kind of get after it, and our kids really showed in the scrimmage that we have improved our tackling. Now not only are we in the position to make the play, now we're making those plays. So Defensively, I think we have made the most progress we have ever made this offseason. And I think it really comes down to what we focused on and what we tried to do in practice. And our kids have really bought in to the system and really have made a big impact. And I'm just excited to see, can we do what we've shown we can do on a play-by-play basis on a Friday night.
Good. Coach, that makes me excited. We look at your schedule. You'll see Wheeler here in Week 1. We'll come back and talk about them in a moment. Week 2, you travel to Boone Grove. This is an interesting part of your season. 3 away games in a row here. Week 1 at home against Wheeler. Week 2 on the road against Boone Grove. Week 3 at North Judson. Week 4 at Triton. Week 5 at home hosting Caston. Week 6 at Pioneer. Week 7 hosting North Miami. Week 8 hosting Winamac. And then Week 9, I'm always excited to see this game. You travel to Culver to take on your rival, the Culver Cavaliers. We just got done talking with head coach of the Winamac Warriors, Josh Burgess. The HNAC is not easy.
No. Everybody kind of looks at our schedule, and kind of what sticks out, right, is Wheeler Week 1, Boone Grove Week 2, Judson Week 3, and then Triton Week 4. And everybody says, why would you do that? And the short answer is, look at the second half. It doesn't get any easier. It's just one of those things where you got to come to play every week. And the only change from our schedule from last year to this year is we play Wheeler Week 1 and not Bowman. But Wheeler and South Central, that's been a long time rivalry game too. It's been one of those ups and downs type things, and that goes back to when the Klimzaks were Tony Klimzak was the head coach at Wheeler, and Dan Klimzak was the head coach at South Central. So I didn't start that rivalry; I just inherited it. But it's one of those things, right? You got to play the teams on your schedule, and I understand that hey, the Hoosier North is no joke. I mean, in my opinion, it's the best 1A conference in football in Indiana, and I don't think there's a whole lot of people that would argue with that. But it's just exciting. We're going to see the best teams in the state of Indiana throughout the season, and it's really it shows you where you need to be. If Judson comes to town, if Pioneer comes to town, if North Miami comes to town, even if you're going over to Caston, you've got to be playing your best football, or you don't stand a chance, and the game will be over at halftime. So it's a great conference. I'm glad we're a part of it, and hopefully we can squeak one out here and there this season to show everybody that we belong here too.
Coach, we always look forward to talking to you every Saturday on the Saturday Sports Line. So, Satellite Nation, make sure to tune in. Head coach Buzz Schoff will be on the Saturday Sports Line. We'll talk to him in the second hour. Always an honor to talk to you, Coach. I won't keep you any longer. Thanks so much for setting the table. Good luck this week against Wheeler.
All right. Thanks, Mitch. I appreciate all you do.
Hey, likewise to you. We'll talk to you Saturday.
Yep. Bye.
All right, that is head coach of the South Central Satellites, Buzz Schoff, here on the season preview show. We'll take a break. The crew's here. Pizza's being served here shortly. We'll come back, talk with some of the coaches here at Papa Farm Pizza, downtown Knox. You're listening to KVB's WKVI. Back for more here at the season preview show, Papa Farm Pizza, downtown Knox. Mitch Columbi, so glad to be with you. Maybe wondering where Chris is. We talked to him a little bit earlier. He is actually on the golf course for the Tri-Township Lady Tigers. He's coaching golf here in the fall, so don't worry. We didn't kick him off the air. He's still with us. We're going to have him this Saturday. We're having him this Friday. Be a lot of fun to have him down on the sidelines for the Knox Redskins and the North Judson Sanpierre Blue Jays. We see the rest of our coaches here having pizza, delicious pizza here at Papa Farm Pizza, so feel free to swing by, say hello, and say hello to the coaches. They'd love to say hello too, wouldn't you guys? It'd be fun. Well, let's go ahead and talk. Let's talk Knox Redskin football here with head coach Russ Radtke. Coach, this is an interesting year here for you. Your 49th season as a high school football head coach. Does time go that fast, or does it feel like it was 49 years?
I'll never feel like 49. I think that things have moved quite hurriedly through this spring, and now all of a sudden here we are tonight. I didn't think we'd be here this fast.
It did happen.
The element of preparation is so habitual that I guess you just follow along with what the processes are and go from there. We have a great young group of young men that have put a lot of pressure on themselves to get to where they want to be, and some of the coaches and myself ran the 5:30 workouts, and the other ones ran the 6 o'clock workout at night. So month of June and July went pretty fast, and we really think that things are going to be positive, and we got good numbers, and I look forward to a great season. I don't know if you look different this year than we did 49 years ago.
Has it changed much?
But we definitely are going a lot earlier. We used to have a lot of all-day practices.
Really?
We didn't have any now.
Well, so two-a-days.
School starts so early now here in early August that a lot of our mechanical processes and so forth have to be done during the months of June and July.
Sure.
We used to I remember one season when we were at Griffith, we had 31 all-day practices.
31.
And the kids were excited about school getting started.
Yeah, they actually wanted to go to class.
Oh, for sure, 100%. Yeah. But it's definitely a maturation situation, seasons exchanging, and you coach all year long now. I mean, you're already coaching in January and February, and that moratorium time that you have. Not a moratorium, I can't remember what it's called. What's that called, guys, when we get to practice early in the months of January and March? What is it?
Limited contact period.
Yeah. They named that because the first time that year they had that process for us, we had sleds out, full pads, and going at it, and all of a sudden somebody said, "Whoa, wait a minute, okay? Football can't do that."
Huh.
Everybody else gets to have everything else out,
but not football.
Not football. So they call it the limited contact now. And what we're saying is it goes 2 months there, another 2 months in the spring, and then you're practicing all through June and July, and the kids are. Yeah, it's kind of fun doing it this way too, because now you really think that the mindset in the brain and so forth is going a lot faster than you had to see them in August for the first time, and then you do all your running and your conditioning and preparations, and you maybe did not get the full intensity that you wanted. So we'll adjust to what's going on. The only problem is school boards and the communities haven't, because we're still getting the same pay as if we were doing just 3 months instead of 9 months. Then you had the recruiting in there and going to clinics and all this stuff. It takes a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of commitment by coaches.
Well, last year was an interesting one for you guys. A tough loss in week 1 to your rival North Judson, but the other 2 losses, I mean, those are the kind of losses you kind of mentioned, 47-46 against Culver Academy late in the game, and then the Bremen game. That was a close one, 46-38, but you learn a lot from games like that because you're right there towards the end of the game, and then just situations happened. You kind of mentioned that you almost would rather lose. I think I remember you saying in the Saturday Sports Line you'd rather be blown out than be in the game and lose by 1 or 2.
Especially if you thought that you had a chance at it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can be your own worst enemy. You score too fast, or you get. When both teams are hot, that's tough.
Yeah.
And we had many games like that, because then you had the regional championship in the same way.
41-40.
And we're ahead with a minute, 10 seconds to go or whatever, on an undefeated team. CMA was undefeated.
Yep.
And Bremen had a great season as they closed out. So you got to play with a little bit more intensity in that level, and I see the mindset's a little bit better prepared for that situation.
Yeah, you beat me to my next question there. I was going to bring up the Garrett game. When you're on the cusp of going back-to-back semi-state games like that, and you lose by 1 point, what did you think the team took away from that and brought Was there any more intensity this summer? Was there maybe a little more attention to detail from some of the older players, some of the varsity, the seniors?
Well, it came last year. We only had 5 seniors,
right?
You know, and those 5 that played consistently all the time, and a couple guys worked hard, or one had a broken collarbone, and so he wasn't able to make it back. So the guys that tasted that last year are back.
Yeah, and they don't want that again.
And they possibly have grown up a little bit more and got a little bit more intelligence and assignments. And you know, when you're young, you're ruthless, and you think you can do anything, anytime, and you can go out on a limb, or you can climb a tree all the way to the top, and it'll never bend over. Okay,
yeah.
Well, it can snap and get you real quick. And as a result of that, I think these guys have really come up with a positive attitude. We could have 8 to 9 defensive players that are seniors that have been playing before, and the other ones that are in there have been playing as sophomores, and now they're juniors. So I think that maturation is something we're looking for.
I mean, we talk about impact players. The first one, let's just get it out of the way. Miles McLaughlin, he's going to be one of the key factors for this team. We also remember names like Isaac Singleton, Ashton Walker, Kane Weber, Hunter Anderson, Easton Minix, Tucker Burns. We talked about Tucker quite a bit last year. Peyton McNeil, Keyston Dixon, he's quite the player for you guys. Hunter Anderson, Keegan Everidge, and Maddox Kinder. You've got a lot of impact players that I've had the pleasure to talk to in the past. They've got a good head on their shoulders. When you've got a good nucleus like this, a lot of senior heavy teams, you kind of mentioned it reminds you of this team from 2 years ago that went undefeated in the regular season.
Well, and I think the thing you said is they got their heads on their shoulders, and there's something in there, and that's where they have worked so hard of knowledge of the game, knowledge of their defenses and their offenses, and don't let a guy out there on a limb by himself. And we will be a much more pressure defense situation, opportunist in creating things to make it work to our advantage. And then offensively, I think the same group. There's a large number of boys that you said there. Some are going to get to play both ways, both offense and defense. But we definitely feel that our skill positions are good, really good. I mean, our kickoffs are great.
Which is huge. We've talked about having a kicker, how important.
And a good punter, too.
Yeah.
A great snapper.
That's why it's special, you said.
So that's why it's
special teams.
If we need to go to those situations and get field position back or something like that, it was something that last year we were a little short on. And everything could be very fine in strength-wise if we just keep everybody tuned in on their assignments. Because even tonight at practice, I just came from it. We were trying to make adjustments. Tyler wasn't here tonight because he gave us all the way from Crown Point.
Right.
And this was a defensive night. But 15, 20 minutes of offense, those guys were able to call. I just read it off the paper. And then they mechanically can figure out, well, how we can do this, where we're going to be here. And there's a lot of pressure at times that a lot of parents don't realize, or the fan doesn't realize, that when something possibly did break down, it could be from immaturity. I don't think it'll happen this year. I think the maturity of the group of guys that you just said, and a lot of good underclassmen have come in. Our freshmen, we've got 12, I think, of them, or 13, have worked very hard at making sure that they exemplify or really make sure that they can do things to make the defense work. And the same thing on offense, too. So we got 42 guys out there, and they're all doing great. And the junior high's got 57, and we had 87 in our camp that I told you about.
Wow.
So all together,
it's huge.
Redskin football is something that's going to keep on rolling. And these seniors have got some great opportunities, and we'll just see how far they can go.
One other thing I wanted to bring up, I kind of mentioned this to Coach Schoff a minute ago. There's more than just one player out there, but I did want to kind of shine a light. Miles McLaughlin, primetime 25 player on the front cover of the Indiana Football Digest. He has the all-time rushing record. He has several other records on the football field. I mean, just so many you can't really name them off the top of your head. I mean, he's going to walk out of here one of the best to do it here at Knox, if not, the best at his position, I should say. Talk about the leadership you need from a guy like that to trickle down to everyone else.
Well, he's got to get it from respect. He doesn't get it from yelling and screaming, hollering, and telling him, get this guy out of here. I need somebody else. He understands the whole principle of how important everybody is, and that when he brings a player over that maybe hasn't played that much on that offensive situation or that down and distance he's in, he's got to get him lined up.
Yeah.
He's got to get him in the right spot. And so that type of thing has really been a positive. I mean, he's got a great opportunity to set some state records also.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
And I think he's number 8 in the nation right now.
It's crazy.
So all those things are exciting. But he's strong. He's got quick feet, and he's got a good head on him. And I really think that he's worked hard to make his passing game work also. And all these things will fundamentally work through. But we never call any play or offense, or he doesn't audible just to get the ball to him. That's what's important.
Right.
He will audible and get the play to the right person at the right spot. And if it happens to be his chance, fine. I mean, in the scrimmage we had against Whiting, he only got the chance to carry 3 times. Okay. Well, I'm sure he'll be a little more hungrier this week and get an opportunity for it. But those other guys deserve that chance too, an opportunity, and we'll look forward to see that because he is playing defense too this week.
Do you like the strength of schedule? I mean, I look at it, there's a lot of good teams that you'll be facing this season, and it's that conference, the new conference you're in. You'll start your first conference matchup in week 4, but the first 3 weeks, Coach, they're not going to be a walk in the park. You know, you'll host North Judson. We'll talk about that in a moment. You travel to Royal Center to take on Pioneer, and then week 3 we'll see you host Culver Academy. So, I mean, the first 3 weeks to prepare you for the conference, when I look at your schedule all the way to the end, it's a pretty jam-packed schedule.
Well, that's what we wanted, and that's why we convinced our coaching staff and administration to go to this new conference, because we're 3A. You know, we should be what we are. And if we're going to play 3As all the way through to the tournament, then we got to be going against major competition week in and week out.
Yep.
And the only way you get that is that process. And I think it carries over to our middle schools and our junior high the same way, of how hard they work and try to present that opportunity to be there. And it's nothing against the other ones, but there's just no reason for opportunities to improve where you could just mow people. I mean, we got to be able to take on the big dogs. We're going to be playing against some Catholic schools and so forth. People that have been out recruiting and getting information-wise, they're getting people out of their area. So you never know what's going to show up on that Friday night by the time you get there, because especially like CMA. I mean, last year we ran into a quarterback that was out of Cincinnati. It was hot as a whistle, man. And,
I remember you telling me.
And when you get that in that level at that earlier in the season, we've done some things again also this year to try to improve and making sure that we can get into certain type of coverages that we weren't ready for, even though we thought at that time last year we were. I think we are this year.
Well, I told you yesterday, we start the season off with fireworks. You're going to take on, which is interesting, your alma mater, the North Judson Sandbear Blue Jays. What have you been preparing for to see from the Jays? And also, if you have any questions while he's here, you can ask Coach Lambert what you are planning to see. What you got any questions for Coach Lambert tonight? You're going to see him on Friday. You got any questions of what you're going to see from him?
Hope we don't start hitting each other until the whistle blows.
Did you hear him, Coach? What'd you say? What'd you say?
Well, I just said I listened to him. I'm taking it all in right now.
You got any questions for him? What are you anticipating anything on Friday you want to know about?
It's gonna be a great football game.
These guys are something else.
2 Stark County teams going at it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It was last year. That was a fun game last year. You were able to get the better of the Redskins. So what do you got planned to make it not the case for the Redskins this year, Coach?
Well, the home field advantage is such a great opportunity for us since we're getting to play here at home, And in the 5 years I've been here now, they've won 3 and we've won 2. And we both won some games on the road too. So it's going to be a factor that it's not going to be so much the coaches, okay? I really don't think so, okay? I think it's going to be the players out there. They all know each other. They know each other's names. They see each other during the summer.
Some of them are related.
Very positive to each other, and I think that all that will carry over. And usually always the Judson Knox game was the last game of the year.
And I wish it was.
And we'll play them again on the last game of the year too. You can play the whole first game and the last game. One's at home and one's away, and everybody makes a lot of money. But,
exactly.
But detail and assignment-wise, we'll just see as the game rolls along. It's going to be great conditions. I mean, it looks like it's going to be in the mid-80s, no humidity, no rain, and we'll just go with the flow as things go throughout the game. I'm sure each one of us has some little trick thing or something that we want to execute if we get that opportunity, but we're going to really be down to hands-on operations, that's for sure.
I mean, this is an interesting rivalry because you guys do know each other at this point, and you kind of know what you've seen over the years, and you're probably playing it in your head. I mean, it's probably a pretty interesting moment when you're behind the scenes preparing for a game like this because you're like, no, I know him. This is what he's probably going to do here. That I mean, how do those conversations go down? You don't have to spill all the beans, but it's got to be interesting.
The conversation is just like playing the same team twice in the same season. See, I think Judson has a couple teams on their schedule that they could see in the sectional also.
So they are familiar that much.
In that process. I don't think, but Jimtown and John Glenn, we have two teams that we have in our conference that we could see again. You never like that type of situation, really, especially if the opponent has an opportunity to change or adjust in some way that you're not ready for. But this is going to be a game situation. I really think specialty teams are the big word for it again. And early in the season, your specialty teams maybe aren't as good as they might be later. And as a result of that, you could really have a major breakdown. So we're going to work on field position and getting the opportunity to work. Last year, we only had to punt once. We made them punt 3 times. Didn't make any difference. They're good. They're good. There's no doubt about it. And we fumbled a couple times.
Yep.
And we lost both of them. So they didn't fumble at all, and that's the difference in the ball game. That's why you play with that pigskin that's got a point on it. You never know where it's going to bounce, which way it's going to go, and it's whoever wants to be aggressive at the time that's necessary that plays the big game. There's no doubt.
Well, you're mellowing out, Coach. This is the most subdued I've ever heard you. You're very calm today.
It's because it's Wednesday.
It's because it's Wednesday. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming in. We'll transition to North Judson St. Pierre. Do you have a question for Coach Radtke, Coach Lambert? You got any? You want to know anything?
That's a negative.
That's a negative. Okay, all business this week. Boy, these guys are something else. Well, let's talk about the North Judson St. Pierre Blue Jays, Coach. This summer was an interesting one for you. You had a lot of players you had to say goodbye to, but also players that got a lot of time last year. We kind of talked about for the majority of the season, the guys that came back this year, they got at least close to a half of a game each week, close to, if not, a whole half. So talk about bringing those players back and the excitement that you have coming behind you. Maybe a lot of people are thinking that you can't quite replicate what you did last year. What do you say to that?
This year isn't necessarily just to be what last year's team was. We are who we are. So we got some talent on the team just like we did last year, but it's going to look different for sure. We got a nice senior class that we can count on. It's not a big senior class, but we got some big guys up front. We still got CJ Sanchez, Christian Hill, Caden Johnson. Those are 3 guys who all started last year on the offensive and defensive line. Evan Curley is another senior who's going to start up front for us on the offensive line. So, if you can have 4 seniors starting on the offensive line, that's a good starting point. Then we got Grayson McDaniel back, another senior, as a linebacker, and he's also a running back for us. He was our best blocker last year in the backfield, but now he's going to be getting some carries this year. So, again, having him's a good thing. Brody Bridegroom's back from a knee injury last year. He went down in Game 4 last year and has really done a great job of rehabbing and getting himself back, so he's going to help us at receiver. He's also our long snapper. So we really, not having him, as a snapper last year was kind of a, maybe an issue a couple times. So, again, having him back's great. And then Ethan Hack's another guy. Ethan started at corner for us last year, but he decided to put on 15 pounds of, a lot of muscle in the offseason, so now he's playing defensive end for us. So those are our seniors, and, we got a good group of guys behind them, but that's a good starting point there.
Interesting quote here from the Indiana Football Digest. You said, "We are not taking success for granted. Having a competitive drive, team cohesion, and a continual dedication in the weight room will be the utmost importance for the continued success of the Blue Jay football program." Did you do that this summer?
Yeah, the weight room was great. I mean, it has been. I mean, it's really it's crazy because the staff that we have is really former Blue Jays, and we all thought we were strong when we were in high school, and we probably were. But when I compare it to the guys we got now, I mean, our numbers really don't stack up against them. And I'm kind of a smaller guy, but I'm even talking about some of our other guys on the staff who are bigger guys. So yeah, the weight room, has been fantastic. These guys will lift maybe in class during the day. They lift after school. We got kids who like to go to the gym at night. I mean, I don't know. They don't have hobbies like we used to. I don't know. We used to have other things we would do at night, and these guys like to go to the gym. It's just a culture that's been kind of built up, and it's taken a while to get there, but it's a pretty cool thing. So yeah, the strength's there, and then we had the numbers are good this year. I think we had 37 guys last year. We're actually a little less. We're at 34, but to be honest with you, there's not really a lot of guys that are just kind of there to be there, and so it's a good group of 34. And again, the practices are competitive, and the guys are hungry to play, get better, and prove that it wasn't just the seniors last year, that they can step up and be the next guys. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, some names that stick out to me that I'm excited to see come back this year: Javen Christensen, Robbie Compton, Brandon Flores, Asen Harper, now a sophomore. He got a lot of time last year as a freshman. Alex Cager, Brian Korcha, Aiden McGowan. You mentioned Evan McGowan. A lot of guys that learned a lot from those older players last year. So talk about the plan for those sophomores, maybe the juniors now. I mean, you kind of mentioned a lot of the seniors that you have, but talk about the sophomores in the junior class, what you're expecting for them to back up the seniors.
Well, and like I mentioned just a little bit ago, I mean, our line's going to have a lot of seniors on it. And we got some good young linemen, but they're still going to be developing, at the JV level, a lot of those guys. So the future looks good for the line. But right now, we're counting on some younger backs to step into the varsity roles. And some guys who maybe haven't necessarily gotten it done on a Friday night, but they're going to be expected to do it. So like Evan McGowan's a guy who, he's a sophomore, but he is a talented kid. I love what he can do at fullback and linebacker for us. It's a lot to ask somebody to step in for Brock Benson. I mean, Brock's the school's all-time leading rusher, but I feel like Evan can do that. I mean, I feel like he's got the ability to step in right away and be that guy. His brother, twin Aiden McGowan's a sophomore. I mean, Aiden, he stepped in last year on defense when Josiah went down in the semis. He played in the semi-state at safety for us as a freshman against a South Adams team that could throw the ball, and he did a great job. He played in the state game at safety, so he's going to be counted on him both sides of the ball. Logan Pratt, he's a guy who started at safety last year. He was kicked for us. He was a returner, but now he's going to get more of a role on offense. Those guys are going to be great. And then we got, Asen and Javen both playing, quarterback. They're two completely different kids. Asen's, a sophomore quarterback who weighs 205 pounds and bench presses 360. And then Javen is, a point guard, a little shifty guy, point guard on the basketball team who is still strong, but, just two different, tempos there. So we're going to, take advantage of both of those throughout the year. Yeah, we got a good group. Xander Nowak's a kid. Of course, I gotta throw the ball to make this happen. I gotta get over that fear of throwing the ball. But Xander's 6'4", basketball
tall
player. He's weighs 205, 210. I mean, he's lanky but strong. I think he could be a threat, if we need him in the passing game. Again, we got some guys, and I'm really happy with how they progressed, and just I really feel like we had a real team mentality in the weight room and in the off season, and I've seen it so far in August as well. But again, Friday night lights are a different beast. So are we going to be hitting on all cylinders week one? This Friday, I hope so, but maybe not. But I feel like the potential of this team is very high, just like last year.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about it before week one. It's kind of like dusting off the cobwebs, even for the officials sometimes, to get back into the swing of things. You'll see the Knox Redskins week one. We'll talk about that in a moment. Week two, you host LaVille. You'll host South Central. Then you're on the road at North Miami. Then hosting Culver, hosting Triton, at Winamac, at Caston. Then at the end of the season, you host Pioneer. Are you happy with the strength of schedule?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a good conference, very good conference. I heard Coach Burgess talking on the drive-in. Yeah, I'm very happy with what we got. If we were a 3A or 4A team, maybe I wouldn't be. But being a 1A team in this conference, this is awesome. It gets you prepared for the postseason. And I felt like last year we had an excellent team last year. Everybody knows that. But I feel like even if some of those games weren't as close, the preparation had to be there because the coaching staffs in the conference are good. And then the talent year in and year out, you're always going to have some very good teams. Some teams it's 1A football. Some teams are going to be in rebuilding mode. That happens. We'll probably be there someday as well. I hope not, but I'm sure we will. But just the fact that we're going to get night in and night out a tough conference schedule. Then we start off obviously with Knox. I love having Knox week one. I absolutely love it. It's a rivalry game. It gives you the whole off season to have that rival to prepare for. But then when it's over, when week one's over, you don't have to think about it again.
Yeah.
To be completely honest with you, and you just know that win or lose in this Judson Knox game, both teams are going to get better from week one, and I think it really shoots you into the rest of the season. So I just think it's awesome to have that, and I think it's great for the fans too. Then after week two, we get LaVille, so we get the old conference opponents, Knox and LaVille. So we kept both of them. So again,
which is usually a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. LaVille's been a great game over the years.
I mean, back-to-back good games for you, really.
Yes. So you're going to know a lot about your team the first 2 weeks, and if you need to make some adjustments, you're not going to fool yourself by having something weak to start with. You're going to know if you got stuff to work on after those first 2 weeks.
There's more than just one player, and I said that to him, but I did want to bring up, I think it's pretty cool. You had another primetime 25 player on the front cover of the Indiana Football Digest. That makes back-to-back years for you. Cole Kozakar last year, of course, also our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Year. We move forward this year. CJ Sanchez, he's on the front cover. What does that do for your program, having players like that?
I mean, it's just awesome because the kids see what they can do. I mean, they see that if you work hard, that can obviously pay off for you. Kozakar, watching that North All-Star game, the South kicked the North's butt, but I felt like, and I know Coach McGowan was on the staff, that Kozakar was the best lineman for the North, and I know I just I texted him 2 days ago, I think it was, and he's running with the number 2s at University of Indianapolis. He said he's probably getting the most reps of any freshman right now.
Good.
So, again, he's really optimistic about that. And, again, if you would have saw Kozakar as an 8th grader, you would have never thought that he would be doing what he's doing. But just the way he developed was awesome. And then, going on to CJ here, same thing. I think CJ saw what some of these guys like Kozakar and Wilcox were doing, the work that they put in, and it carried over to him. And the maturity, I can't say this enough. As a middle schooler, CJ was in the office a lot, getting in trouble, wasn't necessarily, into academics, and then he's just turned that around completely. I mean, he is so disciplined now. He's worried about he wants A's, he doesn't even want B's, he wants A's now. Ball State's got a good one in him, but we got him for this year.
Yeah.
So, but no, he's just a great kid. He's worked for what he's got, and it's just great for the program to get that recognition.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you being here. Boy, Lenny, we had a lot more banter last year. What's going on? These guys are getting shy on me.
They're just eating.
They're just
That's
eating.
all.
These guys are getting shy on me.
They've been practicing.
We'll go ahead and finish your pizza, Coach. We'll go ahead and chat with Culver Cavalier head coach Austin Foust. Then we'll button up with head coach of the West Central Trojans, Mark Hall, because the West Central Trojans are taking on the Winamac Warriors week 1 too, so we got to get to skinny on this big rivalry as well. But let's talk about the Culver Cavaliers with head coach Austin Foust. It's year 3 for you at Culver already. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's went fast. That's for sure. There's first season though was definitely long. I think it felt like 10 years. Definitely took it off my life and Took a lot of hair out of the back of my head, but
You've
no.
been saying that the last 2 years.
When you get a coach,
It's still there,
when you
Coach.
coach, you'll understand. Tell you what, we keep having these huddle films. They see the back of my head, or I walk in front of the practice film. It's not there.
Well, they have that new thing now. The powder, the colored powder that men put in their hair now. You could try that. We'll get you. If we get you a hair. What do they call it? A cosmetologist. Yeah, we'll send you across the street. We'll get you. All right, Coach. Let's talk. You beat Attica week 1 last year, 42-0. That was a big win, a good confidence boost for you guys. But that was home. Now you got to travel to Attica. That's a long drive.
Yeah, it's about like 2:15, 2.5
hours.
bus. Yeah.
So that's a 4.5-hour round trip.
Yeah, it's gonna be a late night.
That's longer than the game.
Yeah, that's why I told Coach Hall we'll try to get film as early as I can to him. But it's going to be a late one. No, it's one of those things. One of those things I guess you're kind of worried about as kids go through what the bus ride's going to look like and things. But, I do think it's cool that we get to play somebody different, somebody we're not used to seeing all the time. And, obviously, hopefully it's one we can come out away with a W too.
So you start with Attica, and then you'll travel to West Central. Mark Hall's here.
Yep.
You travel all the way to Francisville. I saw the new facilities. The press box, fantastic, by the way, Coach. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you'll see the Trojans.
Yep.
And, last year we were there for that game at Culver, and that was an interesting one. It was an exciting one, but the Trojans got the better of you.
Yep.
So what's the plan this year? I know you're on Attica right now, but
obviously we got our first 2 long trips. We don't play home until September. On the schedule and
that's
stuff.
kind of crazy.
Get our 2 longs, but our basketball coach, Coach Evans, drives by West Central on his way home. He's sent me the facilities and stuff. I mean, it does look really nice what they've done. I think with our kids, just the little detail things. That's kind of, we let a couple games go through the year. If you look at some of the scores, we're just didn't do the little things that get you on the right side of the winning column. So that's got to be the big difference.
Yeah, you have new facilities as well. I got a chance to check out the press box there. So 2 new press boxes in our area. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you doing that for me. You see what they do for me, Russ?
Yeah.
I come into town and everyone's building me new press boxes. It's a big deal. I'm a big deal, Russ.
Just keep covering us, right? Yeah, keep covering us. But, we got an awesome new press box. And, it's 3 rooms, so each staff will kind of have their own room. And it's got AC. No heat, but it's got AC. So,
yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
The AC's nice.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
So, okay, week 2 at West Central. Week 3, your first home game, like you mentioned, that's the Triton Trojans. This is when you start the conference. And like we've talked, the HNAC is very competitive. And then you host Winamac at North Judson, at Caston, hosting Pioneer, at North Miami. And then you finish up one of my favorite games of the year, hosting rival South Central. So it's a strong schedule for you guys.
Yeah, it is. I've said on other radio stations that I'm not sure if we play, if there's a better small school conference in the state, top to bottom with what our conference has. And, where you're going against quality coaching staffs every single time. You got obviously a Division I player from Judson and Sanchez going to Ball State, and which is cool for the conference in general, right? I mean, obviously we've had Jack Kaiser where kids get to look and see like, hey, what he did and played Notre Dame, and seems to be doing well with the Jaguars. But no, I mean, as far as everything going on, like I would put our small school conference against any other small conference.
Interesting quote here from the Indiana Football Digest. You said, "We must continue building off the progress we made last season and be able to close out games in the fourth quarter." You went on to say, "We have to keep building up our numbers so we can continue developing and strengthening our program." So the first part to the question is, what have you been working on this summer to make sure you can close things out in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I'm just working with our guys. We got a good senior class with the McEwen brothers and Theron Carrington, Isaiah Vela, and Skylar Greer's been with us. And Scotty Banks came out first year as a senior. He's going to help us. But just got really good quality kids that do things the right way. And just the little details, being able, whether it's leaving the locker room, right, how you leave it, making sure everything's picked off the floor, everything's swept up, putting the equipment away the right way, things like that. Just doing those little things that if you can do that in life, that's going to get you far. And, like I heard Coach Burgess say, we're trying to create good community members, great young men, great young fathers, and also teach them, the game of football along the way. And so far, I like where we're at. I think our seniors have done a really good job leading the way and kind of showing our younger guys, which we got a lot of how to do things.
So how did it go building, getting bigger numbers for the team?
Yeah, so we've been lucky enough. Our freshman class has been our biggest class. So we're sitting at 33 guys, which has been awesome as far as practice. I mean, for the first 2 years I've been there, we haven't, been able to have a full scout team. We even had you at scout team corner before.
Don't say that too loud.
So
you actually threw it my way too. You did that on purpose.
We were trying to find the weak link, right? Our quarterback goes find the weak link, attack the matchup.
Threw it right in my area, Coach. They put me in the corner. I never played football in my life.
But now we got 11 guys plus that can play Scout O, Scout D for us. And we've been lucky enough that Coach Zahner was their middle school coach, so he coached them up and teach them how to do things the right way and playing fast. And it's been real enjoyable so far. We're going to have a full JV season, which is going to be huge just for our young kids and the stability of our program.
Something that I think is interesting, I've noticed Coach Zahner back on the football field at practice, and then he also told me he won't be in the booth this year. He'll be down on the field with you guys. And he's been doing a good job of bringing these young guys up. I noticed at practice when you send the young guys down, he works with them and building them up. So talk about having a guy like him in your corner.
Yeah, when I hired him as a middle school coach, I really wasn't sure what Coach Zahner could do. Didn't know what kind of guy he was as a coach. But
you're joking.
Obviously joking, right? So he was my defensive coordinator, and he was a guy that came to Culver. He's the reason why I came to Culver. But, no, I've been incredibly blessed to have Coach Zahner is basically kind of my mentor, guy that can talk to and have a great relationship with. And his son Zach's a freshman, so he knows that class really, really well. And, he's going to come up with us. He's going to help us out at JV. He's been helping out with linebackers. As far as my coaching staff, it's a really quality coaching staff. And
Coach Kling, saw him out there.
Oh, yeah, Coach Kling does
and Marcellus Anderson.
Yeah, we got Coach Anderson, and then Coach Dante's back. And
great to see all those guys. They fire me up.
Oh yeah, it's hard not to have a good time. I mean, that's for sure. As far as with the energy and things like that, and our kids. Our kids are bringing out the best in the coaches. I think we're have a little more energy because we don't have to play scout team now either.
I noticed
things like that. So we could actually coach. I mean, Coach Zahner even said it today. Like, man, isn't it nice? We're like, you don't have to play scout team. You actually get to coach your guys. And not try to run scout team quarterback and also coach up at the same time. So we're having fun so far. Our kids are working really hard. So hopefully we can use that into the season.
One of the positives that I took away from coming into this year for you guys is you didn't really have very many you lost last year. You really bring a lot of talent back. You mentioned the McEwen brothers, also Braylon Jackson, he's coming back. So there are key players on this team that have varsity experience. Who else do you think we will be hearing about from the Culver Cavs this year?
Yeah, obviously you got Jonas at the quarterback back and Caleb at receiver and DB for us. Braylon Jackson, like you said, another skilled guy. I think Isaiah Vela, Theron Carrington, Drake Zorich, those guys have had really good summers in the weight room. Where we've kind of, again, we've taken some licks from the physicality and things, and we're starting to catch up in the weight room now, which I think we've seen in scrimmages over the summer and already last Friday's scrimmage. We got a lot of young guys, but we got a lot of athletic guys. We probably have the most talent skill-wise. Just haven't played a lot of football. We got Jordan Green out from the basketball team. We got Scotty Banks, who came out as a senior. So there's a lot of unknowns going into Friday, which I think it makes it kind of scary. Just where you've seen them do it in practice, but I think Coach Lambert said when the Friday night lights are on, we're on turf field. It's something a little different too. 2-hour bus ride.
That'll be interesting.
We hopefully we have guys that can step up and make plays.
Do you make a pit stop, or is it just straight through?
As far as I know, we're just going straight through.
You feeding them?
We are going to have a little bit of food before, and then we're blessed to have Coach Zahner's parents still make kids.
How nice.
His sister, I think, helping out. We have other families still help out, but every Friday after a away game, they're there with Gatorade, waters, some kind of deli sandwich and things like that, and chips for the kids. So
good.
We're. Again, when we talk about Culver community, we talk about community. It definitely you feel it.
Are you gonna have to leave earlier? How early are you gonna have to leave for this?
We tried telling our principal that we'll probably roll out about noon.
Right.
Kind of thing, but
I'm taking the kids out of class.
He informed us that Friday we already get an early release. So every Friday our kids get out at 2:12 instead of 3:12. So they get out an hour early. So he told us 2:12 is fine. So we'll I think 3:30 is when we're scheduled to roll out. So we'll get We'll get the food there right after school. Kids hang out. We'll get ready to go. If Coach Kling's driving the minibus, he's probably leaving at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, because you got to get the minibus loaded up quick. He doesn't like standing around.
Sure. Well, Coach, I appreciate you being here. You'll see the West Central Trojans Week 2. We'll transition to Mark Hall, but before I do you have any questions for Mark Hall about this rematch here for Week 2?
No, nothing. The only thing is, hopefully I can get the film to him as fast as possible. I hate having coaches wait on me and things, but no, we're just excited and focused on Attica, and then we'll get to, obviously, West Central when Week 2 comes.
Well, it's good to see head coach Mark Hall, the West Central Trojans. Coach, I sure do appreciate you being here. Last year, you've had some good seasons, really, since I've been here. Maybe I'm your lucky good luck charm, huh?
Maybe we should have had you a long time ago, I guess.
Right?
We should bring you to every game. And
Well, last year, while it didn't end the way you'd wanted to, it's just been good regular seasons for you. So you've got that down. What's something that you've been working on with your coaching staff and the players to continue that success in the regular season in hopes you can get over the hump and get to a sectional championship game?
Yeah, in the 22 season, we did get to that sectional championship game and ran into a really good Carroll team.
Right.
And then the following year, we had a really good team that year in the 23 season that we just came up short in that second round. We just didn't play really well, and the Tri-Central did a decent job that night, and they were able to get us in a very low-scoring game. And then last year, we had a lot of injuries that crept up as the season went on. We didn't have a whole lot of guys to start with. As far as starting the roster, we were lower last year than we had been the previous years, and then we just 2019 was the last time we had a lot of injuries in the season, and we just had a lot last year, and that just took the toll on us. But we still had success. We got a lot of guys that had to play, and they got experience, and a lot of those guys are back because last year's senior class wasn't very big either. And some of those guys that got injured were seniors, so we had to rely on some of the younger guys, and they're back, and they worked hard in the off season. When comparing last year, where we are right now compared to back then, we are a stronger team. If we do our maxes in August, right, the first practice, we try to get those in, and looking at our board, we are higher across it than we were last year. So our guys did work hard in the off season to work on those types of things, to get stronger, which we knew we needed to do.
You had mentioned this to me a couple of weeks ago when I stopped by, but you also said this in the Indiana Football Digest: we will need to develop along both sides of the line of scrimmage. And you said while you graduated a lot up front, we have several that are coming back with experience, but we have holes that need to be filled. Mm-hmm. So how's that process been?
Yeah, it's been something we've been trying to work on basically since the end of last year. I was trying to figure out who can we put up there, and then trying to get people ready for it. That is, when we look at really us compared to everybody around here, we are small up front. You look at Winamac, look at Judson, look at Culver a few years ago, even in our conference with North White and even South Newton, North Newton, Tri-County. They've got big guys up front. Our biggest guy up front that's probably going to be a starter this year is only about 193 pounds.
Oh, my.
And so we don't have a whole lot of size, but what we do have is some guys that are stronger than they were last year. And I think we're quicker than we were last year, so we're going to have to rely upon those things, and hopefully that's enough.
One of the guys that I thought looked stronger and faster was Dre Villarreal. I know we're going to be hearing his name quite a bit this season. Talk about how his leadership is needed for this team's success, because like we've talked with Coach Radtke, once you have that one guy and then showcase and prove to the other players that he can play, they follow suit. Talk about Dre Villarreal's role on this Trojan team.
Yeah, he's a great kid. I've been lucky. I've been at West Central long enough that I got to coach his older brothers, and they were quite a bit older. So having Dre just be around, and then comparing him to the other two, I was told when Dre was in middle school, I told the other two, I was like, he's going to be better than you guys were, and they kind of laughed and said, we hope so. And
they didn't want to.
He's showing it.
He's
right
showing
now.
it.
He was a kid as a freshman that you could see that there was talent there. it was just a little bit raw, and we had guys that he didn't have to do a whole lot that year, but then as a sophomore, same type of thing. We had enough guys that he played like kind of a reserve type role, and then last year he had to come on. It was his time to shine, and he took it over and did a really nice job. And then this off season, we told him, like, you have to get bigger. Like, you can't just think, hey, I'm good enough and settle and be settled with it. And, did a great job in the weight room. All of his weight room numbers went up. When we did our last maxes, he did become our all-time clean leader at the school. So he did a great job there, and he's worked hard to getting faster when we ran track, and just has done a great job. And then another kid that's kind of following along with him, and he was his weight room partner all off season, was Connor Huber.
Okay.
And Connor last year as a freshman.
Now a sophomore.
Now as a sophomore. Connor last year, I think he was either the second leading tackler or at least was third, but he had 100 tackles on the year. As a freshman, he stepped in and did an excellent job, and he's worked really hard in this offseason to keep getting better, and we put a lot on him on things that he's going to have to learn how to do, and he's been very accepting of it and just tries to get better every day.
Now, you mentioned Connor Huber. We talked about Dre Villarreal. Other names we know on this team that I'm looking forward to hearing about: Caden Gutwine, Ezra Rodriguez, Felipe Bazan. Remember him? He had that great game against Culver in Week 2. Cameron Noost. He was one of our Tyler Roth WKVI Athletes of the Week last year. Several guys on this team we remember. Who else? Maybe you can talk about them, but also who else do you expect to step up this year and Trojan Nation to pay attention to?
Landon Hughes is one of those guys that is a junior now. Last year he started for us, both sides of the ball as a sophomore, as our center and a defensive end. He's gotten bigger. He put on more weight. He knew that he had to because he was a little bit undersized last year. So he's put on weight, gotten stronger. So we're looking for a lot of good things from him. And so far in the summer, he's been doing a really good job at leading the defensive line on some things and telling the offensive line where they need to go. Nathan Kimberly is another one up front as an offensive lineman, defensive lineman that last year we moved him to line as a sophomore just because it's kind of necessity. So we had another guy we could put in if we needed to, and he was competing a little bit for a spot there by the end of the year, and he put in time in the weight room in the off season and has gotten better and understands what to do more now that he's played line a little bit longer. So defensively, I think he's going to be a big help for us up front. He's a little faster than what we were able to put out there last year on the defensive line, so hopefully that's good for us. Rudy Rodriguez is another one that has played a lot for us. As a sophomore, he started as a right tackle, different time points, and then by the end of his sophomore year had taken that spot over, and he's now a senior, so hopefully he's going to continue to lead the line up front and help us out there. And then we've got some young guys that are going to be stepping in and doing a lot for us. Cameron Sigmund is an incoming freshman for us that will be one of our starting linemen, and he's going to have to find that edge and just be mean and realize that, hey, this isn't middle school anymore, and play hard, because he's a kid that is more than capable to do it. He's a strong kid for being a freshman, so we're looking for a lot of good things from him as he grows older. Brady Hannon is another incoming freshman that we're expecting a lot out of. He's a taller kid, one of the tallest kids we have, because we typically don't have a whole lot of tall kids.
Right.
But he's about 6'3", 6'4" already, and he's
which is good for you guys.
Pretty solidly built as a freshman, and so we're looking for a lot of good things from him as he again grows older. And it's the same type of thing. Like Friday night, like we're going right into playing Winamac, and so there's no easing into it for either one of those guys. They're going to be ready to go right away.
You look at the season, you see Winamac. You've got Josh Burgess here across the table. Any questions you have for him while he's here? You had dinner with him.
Yeah, we had a conversation with Coach Lambert over here and talking about different things. So
no questions for
no,
you got any questions for Coach Mark Hall here, Coach Burgess?
I think we're pretty good. It's good to see Coach Hall, and
these rivalries are something else. You guys could sit down and break bread and be. We can't hear you, Coach. What did you just say? What did he say? What did he say? Oh, you guys are no fun. What happened? What What happened to you guys? What did I do? What did I do here? Coach Hall, you look at your season, Winamac, then Culver, and then that's when the conference play starts. At Tri-County, conference opponent, non-conference opponent at Lake Station, but these are 3 away games in a row, September 5th, 12th, and 19th, on the road at North Newton, then hosting South Newton, at Faith Christian, at Frontier, at North White to end the season. We talked about the MWC a couple weeks ago. You like being in that conference, and you have been one of the main key teams in that conference the last couple of years. What needs to happen this year to make sure you're at the top there towards the end?
It has been good for us. It's a conference we can keep competing in every year, and we can have a lot of success in. You were talking about our schedule there and a lot of away games in a row. When you were talking about Judson's schedule, it sounded like every game was at home this season. So we need that one. That would be a little bit nicer. But at least this year we aren't driving down to Cascade. So all these
that was a rough one for you guys.
Pretty close trips, but the conference last 3 years we've had a lot of success in. We're 13-2 over the last 3 years in conference, and the 2 that we lost was one last year to Frontier. That they were a good team last year. They did a lot of good stuff, and we just weren't where we needed to be.
Yeah.
The year before was a 2-point loss to North White. That one still hurts a bit. That we were right there and had opportunities, and unfortunately we didn't get it done. But looking at this year, we do have another.
That was that rainy game, wasn't it? That was a rainy game. I remember that game.
Yeah.
And you were right there.
Yeah. The conference did get larger this year with Faith Christian being added in this year. We did play them last year, but they didn't play the entire conference, so they weren't considered to be a part of it yet. So that will be an extra conference game for us this year, which will be nice. They've also got a new facility down there in Lafayette they just put in, so that should be pretty nice to go and see. But yeah, the conference, Frontier is going to be really good again. They've got a lot of seniors on that roster. North White's always going to have some big kids that they're going to be aggressive and be physical with. North Newton, talking to their coach, they've got 40 kids out this year.
Oh my!
So they've got a lot of kids.
That's good numbers.
A lot of them are freshmen, but they've still got 40 kids. South Newton, I think they've got some. They're always got somebody, some type of athlete at the back there that either can throw the ball really well or can run it. And then when you look at Tri-County, they've got a new coach, so we'll see what happens there and see what they're like. But Frontier is the team that won the conference last year. They were undefeated during the regular season and lost in the sectional. They're looking to improve off of that, and I'm sure they're very excited for the season. And we play them week 8, so we're hoping that by the time period we get to week 8, it's for something pretty special.
You got a great coaching staff. Had a chance to get to know them over the last couple of years. Greg Bushman, Nate Neely, Dylan Ingram, Adam Huber, and Ben Goodis. Talk about the camaraderie between the staff.
Yeah, the nice thing about it, Nate and Dylan, I coached when I was early on at West Central. They were there when I was started off as an assistant, and then my first year as head coach, Dylan was a senior. So having those guys on the staff is really nice. Other than they do complain when we do conditioning, and they always say you're too easy on them now. And I was much harder on them back then.
He probably hears that all the time.
So it is nice having them there. Greg's been on my staff for 4 or 5 years now, so it's nice having him. He's a guy that's been around for a long time, been to several different schools, and does a really good job of getting things out to the kids and helping them understand things. So it's always really nice. And then Adam Huber is our head middle school coach now. He played at West Central. Does a lot to help the kids out down there. And the middle school they're going to be in good shape. They've won conference the last 2 years. They've got a really good roster this year that's coming up. So I expect a lot of good things out of them, and really excited for when they're going to get to high school, some of the things we're going to be able to do when that happens. But Adam does a really nice job down there. He has helped with our youth program that we started up a few years ago. And I was walking up from practice one night, and they were having the youth league practice, and just listening to Adam explain defense, I was like, that is just a great explanation of what we're supposed to be doing. Like, that is one of the best things I've ever heard from somebody, just explaining it to a young kid and getting them to try to understand it. So he's doing that now at the middle school for us. And then Zach Dix is actually our other middle school coach, and he's new to the staff, but is a big guy that he's going to get him to do what needs to be done. So I'm excited to see what those linemen are going to be able to do up there.
Coach, I appreciate you coming in and chatting with us. We'll now I got questions for the whole crew now, so I'll open this up for everyone or whoever wants to join in. Let's just start with you, Coach Radtke. You know, we've kind of talked about numbers and how numbers can kind of be something every coach has to deal with. Have you ever had to make cuts in your career? Did you ever have that many guys come out for a team where you had to make cuts?
No, not in football.
Never.
I mean,
never.
We'll get more helmets. We'll get more equipment somewhere.
Because there's a certain number you're allowed on the sideline, right?
Well, yeah, 75, I think.
So you got to get over 75.
Yeah.
That's a lot. How do you have? Well, now that I think about it, you look Bishop Chittard. They had darn near 75 over there.
Well, when we were at Griffith, we did have to. I guess we did have to have a dress list because we probably had over 80. There's no doubt.
Wow.
But we didn't cut anybody.
You kept them
and they
just
all played through the season. They all found specialty teams, found out the situations they could be, and so it's important to keep it exciting for everybody. What I always say, they'll cut themselves. They won't get the grades. They won't be here on time. They won't. They'll have excuses, and that's what's going to happen to them in life and their work too. So we're not going to have that in our program.
Something I brought up with Coach Foust and Coach Hall was their coaching staff. I wanted to go back around and talk with the other guys about it, but you got a great coaching staff here, Coach Radtke. You've got Bo Radtke, Tyler Radtke, Joe Eskridge, Steve Triska, Brian Triska, Julio Cisneros, Kyle McCann, Ryan Marsh, Josh McLaughlin, and Bailey Keaton. That's a lot of guys that work together, and you guys work well together. You guys have a great camaraderie out on the field. You work together.
The important thing is that they're all head coach as far as I'm concerned, and when they coach their individual position, I listen to them. They make the decisions. They come up with the starters, and they figure out who they feel is going to be strength at their assignment. That way they're in a game. They're the ones that have to be accountable to get it straightened out, and they will get it straightened out. And then the fact that our junior high staff works so much with our high school, even Ryan Marsh used to be on our varsity staff.
Right, I remember.
And now he moved down, and Coach McCowan was too. So when those two guys went back down to the middle school to get that program going 100%, it definitely carries over and gives us large numbers and whatever. And they've had their own sons playing too, so it was good to watch them being able to coach and play with them.
Keep it a family affair, yeah.
Did you have a McLaughlin in there too?
Yeah, Josh McLaughlin, right?
Oh, he's a coach?
Yeah. Well, that's what it said.
Oh, okay.
Is he not now? Is he not now?
Well, he's
I've seen him up top before last season.
Yeah, and he's usually talked a few things in the headset that I turn off. No, don't get. I'm just kidding. He's a great atmosphere from the fact that he knows the community, knows the people, he knows his own sons, and then he coaches down there at a lower level, which there's a couple of McLaughlins still coming.
Wow.
And that's a whole process together. We're just an outside group coming in.
Sure.
Aliens as we were, and these guys all kind of
legal
aliens came in, and even Julio's got a green card. But Julio's been with me for almost
he's been with you forever.
19 years.
And he's told me some funny stories.
Yeah, well,
we'll leave that for another day.
Stories, but his leadership and the fact that you can depend, and I think that's what every one of these guys will say about their assistants. Can you depend on them? Can you depend on be responsible, accountable, be a good nature in the classrooms as well as teachers? Then you're going to have a good program.
Yeah.
But if you're always out chasing them, bringing them in, they're in trouble, or you have to find a way to keep them on your staff, it's not worth being around.
Yeah.
And right now, this group here works hard together.
We're talking coaching staffs. We'll transition to the Winamac Warriors with head coach Josh Burgess. Coach, you've got Brandon Burgess, Mark Kendricks. We always love talking to him. Levi Schultz, Guy Rugg. I hope I'm saying that, pronouncing that correctly. Kyle Burgess and Matt Swartzel. So talk about your coaching staff.
I'm very fortunate to have the coaching staff that I do. Like Coach Radtke said, I've heard Coach Lambert talk about it too. We're unique in the fact they're all Winamac guys. They're all Winamac guys.
That
I'm a
helps.
Winamac grad. Mark, I think this is his 38th year of coaching. Brandon's up around 20 now, and I've known Brandon obviously a little bit longer than 20 years, but we're up there. Coach Rugg has been back now with us for 2 years, but Coach Rugg played with me. We both graduated in 97. One of the best football players I've ever seen. He was just a freak athlete. All-state football, just state qualifier in wrestling. He went to state meet in track. He was just phenomenal. And then Coach Schultz. Coach was a big player for us 2013 when we made our run deep in the tournament.
Yeah.
And then my other brother Kyle volunteers along with Matt Swartzel. Matt's a Winamac grad, so is Kyle. So, hey, the football stuff is the football stuff. These are guys that treat the kids the right way. They're in it for the right reasons. They're phenomenal individuals. Guys I trust. So I'm extremely fortunate. They make me look good, take care of a lot of stuff.
And you guys work together well.
Yeah,
at least when I'm there. Maybe you guys switch it. Maybe that's what you guys do.
They do a phenomenal job with our football stuff, but we have a pretty good time in the coach's office too, and that's important. We have a good relationship, have a lot of fun together. Those are guys I consider family. Obviously I've got family members on the staff, but Mark and Levi and Guy and Matt, I consider those guys family too. So, like I said, they do a phenomenal job of taking care of the stuff I ask them to take care of, treat the kids really well, and that's the thing that we're looking for. So very fortunate.
And one thing I think is cool about Winamac practice is on the other end of the field, you've got the middle school. And I know Chad does a great job, as well as Coach Lamer. Those guys are doing a good job with the middle school, but it's almost like you guys will do a drill and then they'll come and do. So they're almost being prepped for when they get to high school, it seems.
Yeah, with our new practice field we put in a couple of years ago, we've been able to get everybody out on the field together, and it's nice because if they have a question or need something, they can come down and we can send a staff member down to help them out. You mentioned Chad Watts, Adam Lamer, Andy Stepp, and Cullen Day. Those guys have been with me for a couple of years now, so they do a really good job with our young kids, getting them excited about football and kind of helping them with the transition from middle school to high school. So again, just really fortunate with the staff that we have at Winamac.
And we're talking coaching staff. We'll now go to North Judson St. Pierre with head coach Brett Lambert. Not much has changed, Coach. Danny McGowan, John Hampton, Matt Wright, Alvin Harper, Robert Scheidler, and Tyler Singleton. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but talk about the staff and what you have been able to put together here.
So I could repeat a lot of the same things that Coach Burgess just said. They're not all Judson guys, but like Coach Hampton, he's a Knox graduate, but he's been at North Judson for his whole teaching career, really. So he's been there a long time, so he really is a Blue Jay. Coach Singleton's been with us for quite a while, and he's also from Knox. So again, we do have that flavor. But I guess they haven't left the county, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, Coach McGowan's done a great job with the defense. And again, I played with him when I was a senior. He was a sophomore. So we had that connection. Both grew up in Pulaski County in the Denham area. So again, we kind of just have that lifelong connection there. Then Matt Wright, same thing. When I was a senior, he was a junior, and he's from Denham, from Pulaski County. Of course, Burgess probably think, God, these guys should have went to Winamac. So again, just friends, for a long time. Then Coach Harper and Coach Scheidler, they're just a little bit older than me, but they're former Blue Jays, and really love the sport, love the community. Their kids have gone through the program and are right now. So again, just the staff we've had has been great, and we've had some turnover here and there, but it seems like we've been pretty consistent because these guys we just mentioned, they've really through middle school or high school have been with us. I think every one of them since I've been the head coach. A couple of them have moved up from middle school, but yeah, it's nice when you can have people who care about the community. They know the community. They care truly about the kids, and they want want the best for them, both on and off the field, and I feel like we got that. And I think that's a big reason why we got the culture we have. I mean, I get, I'm fortunate because I get my, name, I guess, recognized more being the head coach, but I couldn't do without those guys. There's no way, and they know that, and I tell them that. So hopefully they believe me when I say it, because I do mean it. And I don't know. I mean, I think about, could I even do this at any other school? Could I be a coach? I mean, and would I want to? I mean, that's just. I mean, North Judson just. That's home. That's where I'd love to coach. And if I ever stop coaching, I think it's because I'm just done coaching, not because I would ever go anywhere else. I love it. We also got in middle school we got John Harris, Nathan Radtke, and Chad Zimmerman. So Harris's kids go through. He's not a Judson guy, but he's been here a few years now. And then of course Nathan's a North Judson guy. Played quarterback back in. Actually, he's the same age as Coach Scheidler and Coach Harper. And then Coach Zimmerman. My first couple years as an assistant coach under Kevin Cox. I coached Chad, and now he's coming back and giving back to the community. So it's just awesome to have all the Blue Jays on there, plus just other guys too. And again, we have fun, like Coach Burgess said. We have fun in the coach's office. We know when it's time to leave the coach's office because we start talking politics. So that gets really fun. Oh my gosh! If you ever want to end a coach's meeting, just bring up. I won't say what side I'm on or not, but you bring up something political, and the faces will turn red and purple, and then about 3 to 4 minutes later, you're going to be on your way home. So the first person to bring it up knows what they're doing. It's time to go.
It's time to go home. Well, okay, we'll go around the table one last time before we end the show. We'll start with you, Coach. What is the goal for this year's North Judson St. Pierre Blue Jay football team?
I mean, just get better every week. We have high expectations, and I feel like we always will, but maybe more this year. Just like last year, because we know we still have some talented guys, and we know that there's going to be competition throughout 1A football. But if we can be healthy come week 10, I feel like we have as good of a shot as anybody at getting to Lucas Oil Stadium. We have the motto L to L, so that's Liberty to Lucas, Liberty Field to Lucas Oil Stadium, and we started that last year, and we're sticking with it this year. But there's a lot that has to go your way in order for that to happen. But again, expectations are high, and it's not just me saying it; it's the kids believing it. And I know, when we walked out of Lucas Oil, I mean, that was an awesome experience. I mean, just awesome. Like people, you don't
awesome
understand. Yeah, I mean, that's where the Colts play. I mean, it's a really cool thing, and just the noise that you get inside of there. I know this Knox atmosphere on Friday is going to be fantastic.
It's going to be nuts.
But it won't be as loud as Lucas Oil. I mean, I'm just being honest. It's not putting down Knox or anything. It's just the noise in there is just awesome. But I know when the kids left there, they were very disappointed. And that following Monday, they were back in the weight room. I mean, they truly were. And
wow.
I've talked to him and said, hey, what can we do next year? I was talking to the seniors. What's your goal? And I said, we're going to go back to state and we're going to win it this time. That's the response I got, and it gives you goosebumps thinking about it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but at least we're shooting high with our goals. And if we come up short, I'm going to tell you we're going to give 100% effort, even in a loss. But hopefully we get a lot of wins.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last year. You almost set the bar as high as you can, because even if you can't get there, it's higher than it would have been if you set it somewhere lower.
Well, and I kind of joked to the coaches afterwards. I said, well, the motto was Liberty to Lucas, and we did that, but maybe we should have said that, we were supposed to win when we get to Lucas. So we actually completed the goal. So, this year it's kind of like, well, get one more. So I've said that a little bit.
Get one more.
Let's get one more, guys. And
all right.
I think they know what that means.
All right, Blue Jay Nation, you better be there to support them. We'll move on over to Culver Cavalier head coach Austin Foust. What's the goal for the Culver Cavs this year, Coach?
Yeah, our biggest thing, I know it's Coach speak, just getting better every single week, right? Playing your best football come week 10. Obviously, staying healthy. 1A football, that's a big thing. When you look on the sidelines, who's out in the field and who's not, that plays a big part of it. And then, just taking care of our younger guys, making sure we keep building them up, and with our JV season and things. We got our eye obviously on this year, and we got some great seniors, and hopefully we can be better than how we have been, and we think we can. But also too, we got a lot of things coming up in the future. We want to make sure we treat those guys, with what needs to be done for them to kind of get the stability of our program in the right direction.
I look forward to seeing you week 2.
Yep, we'll see you there.
Goals for the Winamac Warriors, Coach Burgess.
Hey, similar to what Coach Lambert and Coach Foust have said, we just want to try to get better every week. We talk to our kids all the time. You don't ever stay the same. Whether it's practice, week by week, whatever, you're going to get better or you're going to get worse. So we really stress that. And that's just not on the football field. We stress to our kids, you got to get better in the classroom. What can you do to be better in the community, better at home with your family. So it's, football's a big part, obviously, of what we're doing. But we want to make sure that those young men that we have are improving in all aspects of their life. So just getting better every week. And when we play our best football week 10 and we get in the tournament, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So just looking at those things and stressing those things, and that's our main focus every week.
I look forward to talking to you every Saturday, but we'll see you for the first time in week 4. Coach, what are the goals, in your opinion, for this year's Knox Redskin team?
Well, I'd say the importance to make sure that our seniors get their opportunity. They fought so hard to get here, and we'll do our best we can to provide them that atmosphere in a situation that they'll be in there. I just went through our roster of seniors. I don't see one of them not starting. I mean, they're all starting. They're all starting
Senior
somewhere,
heavy.
and they're going to get that opportunity to play the game and realize. I guess the major goal is that every play can't be perfect, and can we make adjustments as we go along, and how well they've maturated and listened to the boys that are their teammates to try to get things ready for the second, third, and fourth quarter.
Yeah,
that's the key, and not bickering. They don't bicker right now. They don't complain. They don't whine. There's times that a coach walks up and says, it's 6:30. And I said, well, okay, we'll stop now. 3.5 hours is enough. I'm just kidding. But I'm
Not
just
really,
saying,
though.
I'm just saying that we really they have fun.
They
that's
do.
The important thing.
Time goes by so fast.
And how well they execute out there on the field, and make sure our specialty teams are practicing, our freshman JV executing offenses and defenses, and then all the mechanical things they have to do on sleds and chutes. My gosh, how they are able to survive Monday through Wednesday is hard to believe. And then we'll rest tomorrow, and we'll have a great game Friday night.
I remember I was coming to practice last year in the postseason, and a parent, do you know what time practice is over? And I said, when it's over, because I know you never know it. Sometimes you gotta.
If the lights come on in the game field, we'll just transfer it over
exactly,
there.
Okay,
but it's important to parents to see what they're always questioning the positive things. They never complain or bicker the situation, and I think our young men have brought that across to them. That Mom and Dad, let me have this, give me this opportunity, and I'll show you something that's going to be exciting.
Goals for the West Central Trojans this year, Coach Hall?
Yeah, just like all the other coaches were saying, just weekly work on getting better. That's what we've been trying to do, is get better than last year and keep building on what we did last year, then take it farther. That's really been our since we've started the last few years turning some things around. That was what we set out to do, was let's get this thing to where we want it to be, and then once it's there, keep moving it.
Yeah,
keep setting the goalpost farther away and keep trying to achieve those goals. And we've been right there. Main goal is always to win conference. We've been right there the last 3 years. 1 year we got it. The last 2 years we came up short. So that's going to be one of our main goals again, is go win conference. So whatever we have to do to get that accomplished.
Well, folks, we're going to be able to talk to all of these high school football head coaches every Saturday morning on the Saturday Sports Line. So we appreciate all of our coaches coming in. Guys, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed the pizza here at Papa Farm Pizza. It's our 4th season preview show together, so I appreciate you guys coming by and helping continue this wonderful tradition. But to all those listeners out there, make sure to join us every Friday night throughout the school year, as not only will we be broadcasting these games, we also, of course, provide updates sometimes times on location. Like we said, we'll be sending Justin Ruff this week to the Winamac versus West Central game. Week 2, we will have Chris McGowan on hand in North Judson at Judson for LaVille, excuse me. So we will do our best to cover all of these teams as much as we can, but we do remind you every Saturday throughout the school year to join us on 99.3 FM at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central on your local hometown radio station. This is where the excitement is, folks. We know more about these teams. We know the coaches. We talk to the players. We know the inside scoop. The excitement you're looking for is here on WKVI. For another season preview show, we appreciate you joining us. I'm Mitch Columbi. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.